So now, please stand as you're able, as our own Lucas Hanna will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, let's give Lucas a big hey. Thank you, Lucas. All right, everybody, thank you for coming tonight. Please remember to mute your phones, and also please remain silent when any swimmers are on the blocks or the divers are ready to dive. But after that, let her rip. Be as loud as you want, cheer for your favorite swimmers, and just have fun. The order of events tonight is on the wall right in front of you. We will start with a 200 medley relay, proceed down to the 50-yard freestyle, then get in the diving action, and pick up with the 100 butterfly, and at the conclusion will be the 400 freestyle relay. Thanks again, everybody, for coming, and have a blast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dakota Hills Middle School here in Eagan, Minnesota. Today, we have the Eagan Wildcats taking on the Shakopee Sabers. My name's Tim Shinian. Here at the pool today, December 8th, 2023, the first match up for the Eagan Wildcats this season. And we're going to start it off with the boys' 200-yard medley relay junior varsity matchup. And we'll see if we'll have the PA announcer announce names. If not, I can do this as well. We were talking with the head coach, or one of the head coaches, before the start of the match. Possibly going to be a little bit of a lopsided night. 51 swimmers for Eagan, 29 total for Shakopee. That's varsity, diving, and JV all combined. Shakopee does not have a dive team, so we'll see Eagan pick up those points tonight. And that is going to be our highlight of the night with Owen Kipp. He needs a 6.5 average score in his 6 rounds of diving. And if he's able to do that, he will beat a school record.
Let's get this going. Event number 1, boy, 200-yard medley relay, junior varsity, heat 1 of 1.
Starting off with the boys' 200-yard medley relay for junior varsity. And here's
and
the
in
start.
lane 1 for the Wildcats, we have Nolan Luther. Lane 3 for the Wildcats, Ian Chong. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Nick Fitzgerald. Lane 5 for the Wildcats, Michael Boom.
And a quick lead there for lane 3 for the Wildcats. Ian Chong does the turn first, followed by lane 1, Nolan Luther for the Wildcats. 200 yards. That's 4 times back and forth.
And next in the water in lane 1 for Eagan is Ethan Jenkins. Lane 3 for Eagan will be Kuldeep Ratchabatuni. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Skylar Escobar. Lane 5 for Eagan, Pranav Antalavulu.
And back here in lane number 3, taking about a 4-person lead here as we transition into the third
And next in the water, lane 1 will be Lucas Hanna. Lane 3, Tyler Burby. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Luke Friedensch. Lane 5 for Eagan, Isaac Krebs.
As in lane 3 now, Tyler Burberry doing the turn and is about half of a pool length ahead of second place in lane 1.
And rounding it off here, lane 1 for Eagan will be McGavin Nee. Lane 2 for Eagan, Bergen Rowing. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Paul Mikomas Busa. Lane 5 for Eagan, Preston Dunn.
So Bergen takes the turn here in lane 3, coming to the finish line. He is going to easily pick up this victory here in the junior varsity class. Coming down now to second. That'll be in lane 1. McGavin Nye getting the victory here. And in third place be lane 5, Preston Dunn, finishing that one. Shakopee in lane 4 still has one more down and back for Paul McComas Busa. He's completing the turn. As he hugs the line all the way down and touches the platform, he finishes at 2:58. Our highest finisher, lane 3, in 2:02:41 for our junior varsity.
All right, event number 2, boys 200-yard medley relay, varsity.
So our varsity is up next here. All 6 lanes will be used as we are waiting for the start.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, we're starting out with Brad Simpson. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Ethan Gens. Lane 3 for Eagan, Derek Bangle. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Sam Lindeen. Lane 5 for the Wildcats, Miguel San Jose. Lane 6 for Shakopee, Seth Appert.
And a quick turnaround here, head-to-head here in lane 3 and 5. Eagan holds both of those, followed by lane 1
Up
in
next
third.
in lane 1 for Eagan, Liam Leffring. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Ethan Whitus. Lane 3 for Eagan, Davin Chong. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Tyler Gwinnen. Lane 5 for Eagan, William Gwynn. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Brady Anthony.
Eagan holds the lead here, coming to the line by about 1 length in lane 3.
And lane 1 for Eagan will be Riley McRoberts. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Gabriel Christensen. Lane 3 for the Wildcats, Aiden Smith. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Alex Friedensch. Lane 5 for the Wildcats, Mason Dietering. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Carter Havlicek.
Lane 3 is starting to pull ahead here by about the length of 3 people, followed by lane 5, also Shakopee. And then lane 1.
And rounding it off,
third.
lane 1 for Eagan will be Vedant Shrestha. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Henry Hayer. Lane 3 for Eagan, Braden Hagenbarth. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Luke Gens. Lane 5 for Eagan, Louis Decatois. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Toby Pulek.
And an incredible finish there for lane 3 for for Eagan, 1:43:25. couple seconds off the pool record. Followed in by lane 5. That's going to finish second at 1:50, so roughly a little over 6 seconds behind lane 3. And then Eagan also in lane 1 is going to finish third. Fourth, lane 4, that'll be Shakopee. Fifth is lane 2, that was also
Shakopee.
Shakopee.
Up next is event number 3, the boys 200-yard freestyle junior varsity.
So Burnsville picking up quite a few points in that relay. First place is 8 points, second place 4 points, third place 2 points. And Eagan able to pick up all of those points. 14 points go up on the board for Eagan to start this competition. Junior varsity, no points awarded in the competition. Just varsity, so that was our first points up on the board as we do head to event number 3, the boys 200-yard freestyle junior varsity. 5 lanes going to be used. Every other, starting with the Wildcats in lane 1.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, we got Ryan Houth. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Eli Cox. Lane 3 for Eagan, Ethan Schumacher. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Nick Fitzgerald. And in lane 5 for Eagan, Preston Dunn.
A close one here for junior varsity. We're going to be going down and back 4 times for 200 yards. Close between lane 3 and lane 2. Looks like lane 3 might be ahead by just a couple inches. Shakopee showing up to this one. Eli Cox for Shakopee in that lane 2. Ryan Houth in lane 3 leading this. And a quicker turn by Shakopee as they go down and back one more time coming up here to the line. Looks like Shakopee with that quick turn on the far side of the pool is pulling away a little bit. His turns are so much tighter than Eagan in lane 3, now holding a person's length ahead. And another rotation, as it looks like lane 2 is going to be pulling this one off, just a couple more yards to the finish. It's going to be followed by Eagan, who kind of backed off on the pace a little bit here in the last stretch and might get caught by Shakopee in lane 4. They're now neck to neck coming down, and it looks like Shakopee pulling away on this one. That's 2 junior varsity players for Shakopee. Eli Cox with a demanding lead so far in lane 2. Nick Fitzgerald, lane 4, now takes over the second spot and is pulling away from Ethan Schumacher for the Wildcats. Junior for Eagan with a strong lead here, the first 2 reps back and forth, as Eagan finishes third in this one. So first place would be to lane 2, 2:20.63 for the time. That goes to Eli Cox. Second place is Nick Fitzgerald, also from Shakopee, an 8th grader, with the time of 2:27.08, and Eagan's going to finish third here, 2:33.27. Followed by lane 5, Preston Dunn, and lane 1, Ryan Houth. Both from Eagan to round out the finish. That was the junior varsity. Next, we'll have the boys 200-yard freestyle. Only 3.
All right, up next is event number 4, the boys 200-yard freestyle varsity. in. We have lane 1 for Eagan, Riley McRoberts. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Gabriel Christensen. Lane 3 for Eagan, Miguel San Jose. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Luke Gens. Lane 5 for Eagan, Mason Dietering. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Jack Fritz.
So my paperwork before the start of this match did not list any Eagan competitors in this round, but it looks like we have all 6 lanes filled for this freestyle varsity, the 200 yards. All I have are Shakopee players, but Eagan in lane 3, pulling away with this one pretty quickly. So I'm not going to be able to help you on Eagan names. Hopefully the announcer will be able to chime in every once in a while to figure out who those swimmers are. Eagan, though, with a demanding lead here in lane 3. Then we jump to lane 5, who's in second. Another Eagan swimmer. And then in lane 4, Luke Gens closing in on second place. And then neck and neck for 4th place, lane 1 and lane 6. Lane 1, an Eagan swimmer. Lane 6, Jack Fritz. As Eagan almost a full length of the pool ahead now of second place. Eagan able to hold on to that lead as of right now by about a half a length over Shakopee. Eagan with a very strong finish of 1:49.13 for the 200-yard freestyle varsity. So Eagan's going to pick up some points here first. 1:49.13, and also Eagan in lane 5, 1:59.61. So Eagan winning by a full 10 seconds over second place. And Eagan also, it looks like Shakopee picking up third place.
All right, one little reminder, please
seconds.
remain silent when they're on the blocks waiting to hear from the officials.
That's going to put some more points in the Eagan box. We're going to see, so that'll be 6 points and 6 points for first, 4 points for second. So add about another 10 points there. Shakopee is going to be up on the board with 3 points. And finishing fourth in lane 1 was Shakopee. I'm sorry, Eagan, 2 points.
All right, we'll be swimming
So
a little
Eagan
rusty this first
taking a
meet.
pretty
We'll be
big
back soon
lead here. Next, we'll be going on to event 5, boys 200-yard junior varsity. This will be the independent medley individual medley. And this time I only have 3
All right,
Eagan
event number
swimmers here in the
5,
junior varsity. and
boys
that looks to be
200
right.
yard. I am junior varsity. All right, this is an all Eagan event. Lane 1, we have Ian Chong. Lane 3, Michael Boom. And lane 5, Pranav Antavalu.
Ian Chong, 10th grader, with a great start off the platform, taking the lead here in turn 1, or in lane 1. Coming to the boards here for the first turn. As our announcer mentioned, all Eagan event here for the junior varsity. Ian Chong in the lead in lane 1. Then in lane 5, Paranov. Not going to try that last name. In second place. And then in third place, Michael Boom, junior for Eagan Wildcats. As our leader crosses halfway. As we mentioned earlier, junior varsity does not collect any points for the competition. We have not seen too many Shakopee swimmers in the junior varsity events thus far. As we were mentioning, Shakopee has 29 swimmers total here at the event tonight. Eagan has 51. That includes varsity, junior varsity, and the dive team. Eagan does not have any divers here tonight. So I believe we're on our last time back and forth. So here's the home stretch here for lane 1 with a demanding lead from Ian Chong. So a big lead from Ian, but over in lane 5, able to close in a little bit towards the last stretch. First place, lane 1's going to get first place here with a 2:35.58, followed by Eagan also in lane 5, 2:37.58. 2 seconds separating first and second here. And that'll do it for our junior varsity class.
All right. And next is event number 6. Boys 200-yard individual medley relay, varsity.
So now here comes the varsity. All 6 lanes will be used.
All right, in lane 1, for Eagan, we have Kuldeep Ratchabatuni. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Tyler Gwinnen. Lane 3 for Eagan, Aiden Smith. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Cale Fleming. Lane 5 for Eagan, Liam Weffring. And lane 6 for the Sabers, Ethan Gens.
From the jump, Shakopee had the lead in lane 4, but quickly taken over by Eagan now in lane 3, pulling ahead by about a half a length. Now they are working on their backstroke. Eagan does the turn, followed by, I believe that's Eagan now in lane 5, coming into second, as Shakopee in lane 4 falls to third. Eagan ahead here in lane 3, Aiden Smith, by roughly a person length over Shakopee now in lane 5. Over Eagan in lane 5. Shakopee trying to turn this around. A tough turn for Eagan in lane 3. That's going to catch up Shakopee and Eagan. And with that rough turn from lane 3, he's going to fall to third quickly as they go back to the front stroke. Eagan now lane 5 with the lead. Shakopee just inches behind in lane 4. And then Shakopee passing up lane 3 for third place. Lane 2 for Shakopee taking the lead. Looks like Eagan's pulling away here from that turn over in lane 5. He's going to win by a length. followed by Shakopee in lane 4 and Shakopee in lane 2. That one turn from Eagan in lane 3 pushed him with a pretty strong lead to third very quickly. But Eagan is going to be able to hold on to this one to get the victory in lane 5 with a time of 2:13.77.
Good job, guys.
That's going to add some more individual points for Eagan as they finish first, so another 6 points to them. But Shakopee close behind in this one, going to pick up 7
And event number
points
7
with a second and third
boys
place
50-yard freestyle junior varsity. We're going to have 3 heats. This is heat 1 of 3. Again, please silence. Quiet, please. Everyone. All right, all Eagan heat here. Lane 1, Hunter Leopold. Lane 2, Henry Laveau. Lane 3, Isaac Erickson. Lane 4, Ezra Jerisic. Lane 5, Kai Duckett. And lane 6, Janet Sirabarui.
The 50 freestyle here for the junior varsity. We're going to see 3 different heats, down and back. This is going to be a close one here. Lane 3 is going to be able to pick up this one by a pretty demanding lead, but second place is going to be close. And the stretch here at the finish, lane 2 going to pick up that one here in second place. Henry Laveau. As we mentioned, this was an all Wildcats 6-lane competition. Second place beating out third place.
All right,
by, it looks
event
like
2 of 3 of the boys 50-yard free junior varsity.
0.2 of a second. As we see Ezra Jarowski finishing third. Heat 2, we're going to have 5 competitors and a mixture of Wildcats and Shakopee.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, John Becker. Lane 2 for the Sabers, Skylar Escobar. Lane 3 for the Wildcats, Ethan Jenkins. Lane 4 for the Sabers, Paul McComas Busa. And lane 5 for the Wildcats, Eben Bankley.
A great start there by lane 5 for Eagan. He's pulling ahead on this one. This is going to be a close second place finish, similar to last match. Eagan going to get the victory there in lane 5. The close finish there, lane 1's going to get second, and lane 3 is going to get third, so that's an Eagan 1, 2, 3 finish.
Heat 3 of 3, boys 50-yard freestyle junior varsity. And again, please quiet at the start.
As the swimmers leave the pool there after heat 2. We mentioned lane 5 with a 27.60. Lane 1 finishing second, 28.73. And 3/1000ths of a second, third.
All right, in this final heat in lane 1, we have Lucas Hanna for the Eagan Wildcats. Lane 2 for the Sabers, Grayson Newcomb. Lane 3 for the Eagan, Bergen Rolling. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Brady Anthony. And lane 5 for the Eagan, McGavin Nee. And lane 6 for the Sabers, Toby Pullick.
This is our last heat of 3. Shakopee picking up the victory here, 1, 2, 3 again. Lane 3 going to get this victory. 26.41, the fastest speed we've seen so far from the junior varsity. Lane 5 for Eagan. It's going to finish second at
All right, event
27.71.
8. Boys, 50-yard freestyle varsity. Again, please quiet at the start, please. All right, down and back we go. Lane 1 for Eagan, Dobbin Chong. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Henry Hare. Lane 3 for Eagan, Derek Bangol. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Charlie Cutts. And lane 5 for Eagan, Braden Hagenbarth. Lane 6 for Shakopee, Seth Appert.
As we come to the line, it's going to be a battle between lane 3 and 5. And it looks like lane 3 is going to get it at 22.41.
That goes by quick.
Followed by lane 5.
Good job,
22.92.
Good job.
So about 0.5 of a second faster there. That's going to be
All
Eagan,
right.
though, in lane 3 and 5.
That's a good
picking up
first
that
part
one.
of our program. We're going to take a little break here. 5
Shakopee.
minutes, I believe. And then we will start the diving section of the program.
Shakopee in lane 4
We'll
picked
be
up
back in a few.
third place finish there, the 23.34. We're going to take a quick break here on Eagan TV as we get ready for our diving. As we mentioned, Eagan, the only school participating in diving tonight. We have 2 junior varsity divers, Evan Hamburg and Ethan Scott, and 2 varsity divers, Sam Johnson and Owen Kipp. We were talking to one of the coaches for Eagan. Owen Kipp needs a 6.5 average score in his 6 rounds of dives. And if he's able to do that, he will beat a new school record. So all eyes are going to be on this competition coming up next here on ETV.
All right, while we still got a few minutes here before we start the diving part, I'd like to mention some of our sponsors. We need our sponsors to produce. They make a lot of what you see here available between the speakers and scoreboard and banners and you name it. And we really appreciate our sponsors. And a few of them are Wildcats Bar and Grill, Wise Swim School, Cynthia and Carlos Construction, for all your interior and exterior painting, drywall repairs, and remodeling and more. Ballpark Realty with John Mulkern and Elsmore Swim Shop. Please, if you get a chance, visit, use these businesses. We really appreciate their sponsorship. We also have Twin City Orthopedics, SPS Contracting for your roofing and siding and gutters, Trail Stop Tavern, Bar Pad Services for your commercial cleaning needs. And we have all our volunteers on Eagan Booster Swim Club, which we appreciate all their time and effort to keep things rocking and rolling and running smoothly. All right, we will be starting the diving in just a minute. I'm going to announce the order of diving. First for Eagan will be Evan Hammerberg. Second for Eagan will be Ethan Scott. Third for Eagan will be Sam Johnson. And fourth for Eagan will be Owen Kipp. And again, please a reminder, keep your phones on mute. And please complete silence when the diver is on the board.
Welcome back here to the Dakota Hills Middle School. Eagan Wildcats versus the Shakopee Sabers. Varsity boys swim meet, the first one of the season for Eagan High School. Eagan with a demanding lead here in the first 4 events this evening. Shakopee with 29 swimmers here, 51 for Eagan.
And we'll throw one
Eagan
dumb joke in as long as we're waiting here.
Only
it's Christmas time coming up here, and Hanukkah and all the other wonderful holidays. What is the best present you can get as a gift? A broken drum. Nobody can beat that.
That's
okay,
a good one.
Thanks for the laughter.
That's a good one. That's our PA announcer down here on the floor. He'll be bringing you diving coming up next here. Diving, some keys to watch here. Owen Kipp, varsity diver, needs a 6.5 point average in his 6 dive rounds to beat a school record. And you can see all the Eagan swimmers lined up along the side of the pool, hoping to see some history being made tonight. Eagan, 2 JV divers, Evan Hamburg and Ethan Scott, Sam Johnson and Owen Kipp for varsity.
Get some technical difficulties with the scoring system. We'll be right with you.
So it sounds like they're updating some scoring right now. Hopefully we'll be able to give you a score update shortly. The Shakopee Sabers, no divers on their team or competing this evening.
Okay, one more dumb joke. Lately, I've been telling everybody that I have this incredible ability to tell what's inside a wrapped present. Yeah, it's a gift.
Amazing.
Oh, okay, I'm dying real quick here. Anyway, we're about ready to start the diving portion here. And again, we have Evan, Ethan, Sam, and Owen.
a point update here.
Okay, let's start it
44
off.
to 18.
Round
Eagan
one.
leads
Evan
this competition. We're going to now
performing
jump
a 101A, which is
into
forward
the
dive straight,
diving
1.4.
portion of
Complete
the
silence,
match
please.
here, and we're going to hand this over to our PA announcer.
And we have scores of 3, 3. Okay, we're going to switch over to manual mode here. The electronics are not cooperating. We have scores of 2.5, 3, 3. Up next, Ethan, 101A, forward dive, straight, 1.4. And his scores are 4, 4.5, 5. Next is Sam, 103B, forward 1.5 somersault in a pike position, 1.7. And his scores are 5, 5, 5. And last in the first round is Owen, 103B, forward 1.5 somersault, pike. We have scores of 8, 8.5, 8. All right, round 2 starting off. Evan, 201A, back dive, straight, 1.7. All right, and his scores are 3, 3.5, 3. Up next, Ethan, 103C, forward 1.5 somersault, tuck, 1.6. And his scores are 4.5, 4.5, 5. Up next, Sam, 104C, forward 2 somersault, tuck, 2.2. And we have 5.5, 5, 6. Up next is Owen, 105B, forward 2.5 somersault, pike, 2.6. And we have 8.5, 7.5, 8. Starting round 3 will be Ethan, 201A, back dive, straight, 1.7. And scores of 4.5, 5, 5. Up next, Sam, 5122D, Forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist, free, 1.9. And his scores are 3.5, 4.5, 4. Up next is Owen. 403B, inward, 1.5 somersault in the pike position, 2.4. And his scores are 6.5, 7.5, 7.5. Okay, starting round 4 with Ethan. A 401C, inward dive tuck, 1.4. And his scores are 4.5, 5, 5. Up next is Sam. 202C, back 1 somersault in the tuck, 1.5. And his scores are 5.5, 4.5, 5. Up next is Owen. A 5134D, forward 1.5 somersault, 2 twists, free, 2.6. And his scores are 8.5, 7, 7.5. All right, starting round 5 is Ethan doing a 5122D, forward 1 somersault, 1 twist, free, 1.9. All right, we have 5, 5, and 5. Up next is Sam. 401B, inward dive, pike, 1.5. And his scores are 5, 5, and 5. Finishing off round 5 is Owen. The 305C, reverse 2.5 somersault, tuck, 3.0. And the scores are 4.5, 5, 4. All right, to start off our final round, round 6 is Ethan, a 5223D, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free, 2.3. And we have scores of 5, 4, and 5. Up next is Sam. 302C, reverse 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. And his scores are 5, 5, 5.5. And our final dive of the evening, Owen, 5335D, reverse 1.5 somersault, 2.5 twist, free, 3.0. And Owen's scores are 8, 7, 8.5. So that concludes our diving portion of tonight's meet. We will have a 10-minute break here to let the swimmers warm up for the next part of the event. And I promise not to tell any more dad jokes. Maybe. The pool is open for warm-ups. Feet first entry, please. Feet first entry. And as long as we got one more minute or two here, or three, I'm going to go through our sponsors again, who again we definitely appreciate. If you get a chance to visit any of these businesses, we please suggest you do it. They're great in sponsoring the Eagan Wildcats swim and dive team. We have Wise Swim School, the Wildcats Bar and Grill, Cynthia and Carlos Construction, doing interior, exterior painting, drywall repairs, remodeling, and more. We have Ballpark Realty with John Mulkern, Ellsmore Swim Shop, Twin City Orthopedics, Bar Pad Services for all your commercial cleaning needs, Trail Stop Tavern, and SPS Contracting for your roofing, siding, and gutters. Thank you to our sponsors. We definitely appreciate you. In case you couldn't figure out from me saying it. And one I forgot right here, Morgan Stanley, Steve Madden, in 380 St. Peter Street, St. Paul. All right, we will begin swimming in about 1 minute, but in the meantime, we have the results of the diving portion. Swimming for our JV in second place was Evan Hamburg with a score of 28.05. In first place for JV was Ethan Scott with a score of 146.95. For our varsity, yeah, let's give them a big hand. For our varsity divers, in second place was Sam Johnson with a score of 154.4. And in first place was obviously Owen Kipp. Yeah, you want to know if he broke the record, don't you? I know he did. The pool record now stands at 326.45. Congratulations, Owen! Congratulations, this will be the first time, and I'm sure it'll be broken again this year. 326.45. right, enjoy that, Owen. Woohoo! All right. Yeah. Now let's finish off the rest of the swim meet here. We're going to have event number 11. Once we get everybody settled down now, and remember, quiet for the starts, please. Event number 11, boys 100-yard butterfly, junior varsity. Please quiet for the start. And we have an all Eagan meet heat here. Lane 1, Michael Boom. Lane 3, Preston Dunn. Lane 5, McGavin Nee.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dakota Hills Middle School. We're moving right along here off of diving. Now this is the boys 100-yard butterfly junior varsity, so down and back twice. I know you guys just heard the announcement for diving. Congratulations to Owen Kipp getting a brand new pool record at 3:26.45. That is smashing the previous pool record set by Eagan in 2003 at 3:05.05. Over 20 points more, getting that pool record. We're back here to the JV matchup here in the 100-yard butterfly. Looks like we're going to be coming to the end here. And lane 5 going to pick up this one with a 1:14.11, followed by lane 2, 1:17.77. And in lane 3, 1:19.67.
All right, event number 12, boys 100-yard butterfly varsity.
We're going to use all 6 lanes here for this 100-yard butterfly varsity between the Shakopee Sabers and the Eagan Wildcats.
All right, lane 1 for Eagan, we have Brad Simpson. Lane 2 for the Sabers, Gabriel Christensen. Lane 3 for Eagan, Liam Weffring. Lane 4 for the Sabers, Alex Frenchov. Lane 5 for Eagan, Louis Decatoire. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Jack Fritz.
Down and back twice here. Now we are head to head here coming to the line. Man, it is tied between first lane, third lane, fifth lane. Those are all Eagan swimmers. Followed closely by Shakopee in lane 2 and 4. We'll see who can pull ahead at the turn. Man, it is a dead even heat between lane 1, 3, and 5. We'll see who can get there first. It looks like lane 5 might be pulling ahead by just a couple feet. As they all 3 go for the stretch, lane 5 is going to get this victory here, 1 minute 25 seconds. Followed by lane 3 with 1 minute and 0.74. So about 0.5 of a second behind the leader. And in lane 1, third place, about a second behind the leader here at a 1:01.06. So Eagan with a 1-2-3 finish there, fourth. Lane 4 for Eagan, 1:03.20. And in fifth place, lane 2, 1:05.51. Lane 6,
and
sixth
event
place,
number 13,
1:13.93.
the boys 100-yard freestyle, junior varsity, heat 1 of 2.
2 heats for our next round here of the boys 100-yard freestyle junior varsity, as the varsity players for the 100-yard butterfly exit the pool. All Wildcats here for this first heat. 6 lanes.
All right, in lane 2 for Eagan, Philip Cozine. Lane 3 for Eagan, Ryan Houth. Lane 4 for Eagan, Ethan Jenkins. Lane 5 for Eagan, Ezra Jarosek. And lane 6 for Eagan, Henry Laval.
Lanes are covered by Eagan Wildcats. For the boys 100-yard freestyle junior varsity, looks like lane 4 with the lead, down and back twice. They need to go. For the freestyle, everyone currently doing the front stroke. Does not look like anyone ended up being in lane 1. So it's lane 2 through 6. Continues to pull ahead here. Ethan Jenkins, 10th grader for the Eagan Wildcats, gonna pick up the victory here today. 1:07.73 for his time. Second place now, lane 3 at 1:13.47. Little over 4 seconds separated, first and second. And in third place, lane 6, 1:14.32.
Event 13, boys 100-yard freestyle junior varsity.
Heat 2 is going to see all 6 lanes here, a mixture of Wildcats and Shakopee.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, Eben Binkley. Lane 2 for the Sabers, Luke Frenchel. Lane 3 for Eagan, Nolan Luther. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Eli Cox. Lane 5 for Eagan, Kuldeep Ratchabatuni. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Skylar Escobar.
Down and back twice, they're going to be going here for the 100 freestyle junior varsity heat 2. Lane 1 took an early lead, but after the first turn, lane 3 pulling ahead. That's Eagan first and second right now. And it looks like coming up in third, Eagan in lane 5, with a close follow between Shakopee in lane 4. Junior varsity, no points overall awarded for junior varsity matches here tonight. Eagan with a substantial lead after the diving portion, with Shakopee not having any divers this evening, but lane 3 is going to pick up the victory here with a 1 minute .55, 3 seconds behind. I'm sorry, a little less than a second behind for lane 5. Is going to finish at 1:01.13. And in third place, 1:02.27, all Eagan swimmers for the top 3.
All right, event number 14, boys 100-yard freestyle varsity.
These are going to be some fast matches here, back and down and back twice for our varsity. We're going to see all 6 lanes used between Eagan and Shakopee.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, Braden Hagenbarth. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Sam Lindeen. Lane 3 for Eagan, Derek Bangle. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Cale Fleming. Lane 5 for Eagan, Tyler Burby. Lane 6 for Shakopee, Henry Hare.
As we mentioned, down and back twice here, lane 3 with a strong lead here. Second place now was Eagan, but Shakopee catching up here in lane 4. Eagan still holds that lead, does this final turn. Looks like Eagan holds on to that second place here in lane 1. Eagan easily going to be able to get the victory here in lane 3 with a close finish by Eagan in lane 1. Third place is going to finish out with Shakopee, and it's going to come down here to a very close finish for 4th, and Shakopee going to get 4th place out of that one. But for lane 3, a time of 49.70. The 100 freestyle. Just about 3 seconds off the pool record. Great showing though by Eagan with a first, a second there in lane 2 at a 51.11. And then third place is going to go to Shakopee there in lane 4. Cale Fleming, senior for Shakopee. As now we move on to the boys 500-yard freestyle.
All right, up next.
Back and forth 10
is
times.
just a varsity event. Event number 16, boys 500-yard freestyle varsity. All right, this is the distance event, 500 yards. In lane 1 for Eagan is Brad Simpson. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Nick Fitzgerald. Lane 3 for Eagan, Riley McRoberts. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Tyler Quinnen. Lane 5 for Eagan, Gavin Yang. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Carter Havlicek.
The distance event that we call it, the 500-yard freestyle varsity. So we're going to be going down and back 10 times total. Early lead there in lane 1 for Eagan, Brad Simpson, 10th grader, with a close running right now. Shakopee is leading Eagan for 2nd place in lane 4. Eagan in lane 3. This is all about keeping your pace up, keeping the energy going. It's definitely an endurance for this match. Pace is staying about the same here. Eagan ahead by about a person and a half length over 2nd place. Shakopee hugging the ropes as he completes another lap here. Shakopee starts pulling away from a 3rd place. Swimmers starting to spread apart now. 2 lengths over Shakopee. Eagan leads there in lane 1. Then back another 2 to Eagan. Back another 3 to Eagan, it looks like now in lane 5. And another 3 to lane 6 with Shakopee. Shakopee battling for the 5th position, pretty close to each other in lane 2 and 6. Lane 6 currently has that 5th place position. Eagan coming up on lapping the last person here in the lane 2. He might get that done this round. Eagan still continues to lead, pulling away from 2nd place a little bit. 3rd place, Eagan falling back almost a full pool length now to 2nd place. Shakopee in lane 4 as Eagan laps Shakopee. Last place there in lane 2. And coming back here, he probably will also lap lane 6 Shakopee as well. Eagan about half pool length ahead there of second. As we just complete halfway of our 500-yard freestyle varsity. Eagan coming back, still pulling ahead even more of Shakopee now in second place. Third place back, one full pool length in third. We'll see if these swimmers can keep the pace up. They're distancing themselves quite a bit here. Looks like fourth place, slowly up to third by roughly a person length here. The bell rings. One more lap for Eagan in lane 1. As Eagan looks to lap now fourth place. All the swimmers picking up the pace here, but lane 1 with an easy win here with over half of a pool length to the victory. First place for lane 1. Let's see where we are now here. Shakopee going to finish second there in lane 4. It's going to be close for third. Eagan, lane 3. Let's see how Eagan can do in lane 5 with their turn. Still a little bit behind lane 3 by length. And that's going to be a victory then for lane 3 in Eagan. So Eagan picking up the top spot here at 5:24.85. Second place then going to Shakopee, lane 4. That'll be Cale Fleming. We've seen some good runs out of him in a couple other classes this evening. And in third place, going to be lane 3, Derek Bain for the Wildcats. Senior.
All right, event number 17, boys 200-yard freestyle relay, junior varsity.
Pronounced the last runner incorrectly. I apologize. I was looking at my sheet incorrectly. I did not have someone in lane 3, but they did have a swimmer. That was for Eagan with a 6:05.87 finishing third. Some of these sheets were printed off a little bit before the match, and those things can change.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, we have Ezra Jarosik. Lane 3 for Eagan, Lucas Hanna. Lane 5 for Eagan, Isaac Krebs.
So it's the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. We're gonna go back and forth 4 times, but we got 4 different swimmers per team.
And next to the water for lane 1 for Eagan, Janvit Siraburi. Lane 3, Ethan Schumacher. Lane 5, Philip Kozin.
Lane 5 holding the lead after the first round, but it looks like lane 3 picking up here. That'll be Ethan Schumacher pulling ahead now. An extra 2 lengths over
All right, up
fifth.
next, Lane 1 will be Henry Laveau. Lane 3 will be Ryan Houth. Lane 5, Isaac Erickson.
As we mentioned, an all Eagan teams out here in lane 1, 3, and 5. Looks like lane 5 starting to catch back up. Now that is Henry Laveau catching up to Ryan Houth. It's going to be a close.
All right, and finishing off this relay in lane 1 will be Hunter Lippett. Lane 3 will be Preston Dunn. And lane 5, Kai Duckett.
Going to be a battle back and down and back between Eagan teammates here, lane 3 and 5. Eagan lane 5 took the first round. Lane 3 took the next 2, and it looks like lane 3 is going to take it with a 2:01.52, followed by a lane 5 of 2:03.32. So just under 2-second difference there as lane 1 wraps up. Still swimming right now, Kai Duckett for lane 4 as he finishes strong there at a 2:29.
And up next is event 18, the boys 200-yard freestyle relay, varsity. Again, quiet please at the start.
Once again, all 6 lanes being used here. Combination of Eagan and Shakopee in this one.
All right, starting us off, lane 1, Bergen Rowling. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Ethan Wojtas. Lane 3 for Eagan, Miguel San Jose. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Kale Fleming. Lane 5 for Eagan, William Gwynn. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Grayson Newcomb.
Lane 3 with the early lead here.
Going in second, lane 1 for Eagan, Kuldeep Ratchabatuni. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Jack Fritz. Lane 3 for Eagan, Dabin Chong. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Alex Frenchel. Lane 5 for Eagan, Josiah Schaffhausen. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Toby Polk.
Lane 3, about
Third
a
in the
ahead.
water, lane 1 Eagan, Gavin Yang. Lane 2 Shakopee, Gabriel Christensen. Lane 3 Eagan, Derek Bango. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Luke Gens. Lane 5 for Eagan, Tyler Burby. Lane 6 for Shakopee, Eli Cox.
Derek Baino there in lane 3 with a big jump and a great turn, gonna lead him by 4.
And to finish off the relay, in lane 1 will be Eagan, Mason Dietering. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Henry Hare. Lane 3 for Eagan, Braden Hegenbarth. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Charlie Cutts. Lane 5 for Eagan, Vidon Shrista. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Brady Anthony.
And what a finish there for lane 3. A lot of long names there. Wasn't able to kind of give you a play-by-play, but lane 3 going to pick up that victory here at a 1:32.32. Second place, Shakopee. Close finish there, 5 seconds behind there with a 1:37.13. And just a couple inches behind at a 1:39.93. Lane 5 for Eagan is going to get 3rd place. Lane 2, Shakopee, 4th at a 1:46.25. And just about 7/100ths of a second for lane 1, finishing 5th. So Eagan picking up the
All right, event number 19, the boys,
finish
100-yard backstroke, junior varsity.
junior varsity here. Going to be in 5 lanes, a mixture of Wildcats and the Sabers.
Quiet, please. All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, we got John Becker. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Paul McComas-Busa. Lane 3 for Eagan, Ethan Schumacher. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Seth Appert. And in lane 5 for Eagan, Gavin Yang.
So back and forth twice for this backstroke here in the junior varsity. Currently leading lane 5, Gavin Yang for the Wildcats, a 9th grader. Closely followed there by lane 4, Seth Appert from Shakopee, a senior for the Sabers. Eagan leads by roughly an arm length. We'll see how this turn is for the last time. Eagan with a strong turn. Shakopee kind of turned a little bit diagonal. That's going to give Eagan a little over a full length over Shakopee. Now pulls ahead by 2. And Eagan able to pick up this victory. And lane 1 coming in at the last corner, or the last turn, able to pull ahead for a second place finish over Shakopee. So we're going to see lane 5 with a 1:10.60 for the time, and just about 2.5 seconds back there for lane 1 Shakopee, 1:13.08. And the battle we were watching, Shakopee there in lane 4, 1:14.34. About 3.5 seconds back there from the leader.
All right, here comes event number 20, boys 100-yard backstroke, varsity.
As we move on to event 20 out of 24 events, this is coming down to just a couple more left. Eagan still with a demanding lead this evening. We'll be using all 6 lanes.
All right, in lane 1 for Eagan, we got Vedon Sharista. Lane 2 for the Sabers, Ethan Gens. Lane 3 for Eagan, Aiden Smith. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Sam Lundeen. Lane 5 for Eagan, Josiah Schaffhausen. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Carter Havlicek.
Some strategy there for Shakopee out of lane 4, staying under the water as long as he could, well past half length of the pool. He took the lead, but it looks like Eagan on this turn here in lane 3 is going to start to pull ahead from the lead away from Shakopee by about an arm length. But Shakopee pulling ahead. We'll see who's leading at this turn. Man, this is a dead heat coming back here to the line. The backstroke for the varsity. It's going to be head-to-head. Eagan starting to pull away. The crowd's cheering. It's going to be a dead heat. We'll see who wins this one. Lane 3, Eagan with this victory, 1:02.66. With 0.3 of a second over second place in lane 4, 1:02.96. We definitely saw two very
close. Good swimming,
strategies
guys.
Between the two swimmers.
And event number 21, boys 100-yard breaststroke, junior varsity.
To round out your top 6 there, third place, lane 5, that will be Eagan, 1:06.86. And lane 2, Shakopee, finishing 4th at 1:08.03. And in 5th place, lane 1 for Eagan, 1:11.91.
Quiet, please. All right. This heat event, or excuse me, Lane number 1 for Eagan, Isaac Krebs. Lane 3 for Eagan, Pranav Antavu. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Luke Friendship. And lane 5 for Eagan, Ian Chong.
So Wildcats in lane 1, 3, and 5. Shakopee, a 7th grader. Luke Frenchun in the lane 4. Shakopee pretty evenly ahead here. Lane 3, lane 5, then followed by lane 1. Shakopee, that 7th grader. Lane 4, about a half a pool length behind now. Down and back twice they're going to go for the breaststroke. As they're on their way back to finish this up here, lane 3 ahead by about a half a length. This might be close though for second. Currently lane 5's holding it over lane 1. And that looks like how they're going to finish. Lane 3, followed by lane 5, lane 1. That's all going to be Eagan swimmers. Lane 3 with a 1:17.68, followed by lane 5, 1:19.58, and roughly 0.2 of a second behind lane 3 with a 1:19.77. And how about that 7th grader there for Shakopee with a 1:33.73?
And event number 22. Boys 100-yard breaststroke, varsity.
We'll be using all 6 lanes for here. Combination between Wildcats and the Sabers.
All right, lane 1 for Eagan, we have Louis Decatoire. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Alex Friendship. Lane 3 for Eagan, Davin Chong. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Charlie Cutts. Lane 5 for Eagan, William Gwynn. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Ethan Whitus.
Down and back twice. They're going to go here for the 100-yard varsity breaststroke. Lane 3 holding the lead right now over about a half a length. Shakopee in lane 4. And it's tied right now. 3rd place, lane 2, lane 5. Eagan does the turn first. We're coming to the finish. Still ahead by about a half a length over Shakopee. Pulling ahead to a full length here. It looks like Eagan is going to be able to pick up the victory here in lane 3. Shakopee lane 4. And coming down to 3rd, one that we were keeping an eye on, Shakopee getting 3rd place there in lane 2. So in 1st place, lane 3 with a time of 1:04.03, second 1:05.78. About 2 seconds back for Shakopee. And Shakopee also getting a 3rd place at a 1:08.71. Going back down to 4, that's going to be 1:10.52.
And event number 23, boys 400-yard freestyle relay, junior varsity.
So 2 more matches we have here. The boys 400-yard freestyle junior varsity. Going to be Wildcats in lane 1, 3, and 5. Shakopee now in lane 4.
And in lane 1 for Eagan, Michael Boom. Lane 3 for Eagan, McGavin Nee. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Grayson Newcomb. Lane 5 for Eagan, Nolan Luther.
Eagan with the lead there, lane 3, but lane 5 also Eagan side by side now as they come to the line here. 400-yard relay, freestyle relay this is, so each swimmer will go down and back twice before they rotate on to the next person. Lane 3 continues to pull away here now by about a full length. The man, a tough turn there in lane 5 for Eagan. As lane 3 pulls ahead, and we're going to see our first transition.
And in the water now, in lane 1, Pranav Antavalu. Lane 3 for Eagan, Lucas Hanna. Lane 4 for Shakopee. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. John Becker for Eagan. Isaac Krebs in lane 3. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Skylar Escobar. Lane 5 for Eagan, Ethan Jenkins.
Down and back twice, they need to go. Eagan now lane 3, second swimmer on his second lap. Pulling ahead here still by a length over lane 5. That is Eagan as well. So we're going to reach halfway here in this 400-yard freestyle relay for the junior varsity.
Okay, third up this time, lane 1, Pranav Antavalu. Lane 3 for Eagan, Lucas Hanna. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Brady Anthony. Lane 5 for Eagan, Eben Binkley.
Switching the swimmers around here, it looked like lane 5 tried to start to pull ahead over lane 3. Had a little bit of a jump against his Eagan teammate, but Eagan in lane 3, that is Lucas Hanna. 2 strong turns so far, gonna pull him ahead by over 2 lengths in lane 5. And the leader now lapping lane 4 for Shakopee. So in third place right now is lane 1, about a half a pool length behind second place.
All right, finishing off this relay, in lane 1 will be Ethan Schumacher for Eagan, and then lane 3 for Eagan, Bergen Rolwang. Lane 4 for Shakopee will be Toby Bullock, and lane 5 for Eagan will be Ian Chong.
As lane 3 finishes up his first lap for our final swimmer, he'll be down and back one more time for the freestyle relay. Now pulling ahead by about a half a pool length over second place, Shakopee in lane 5. Then about a full pool length back for third over Eagan in lane 1. And then Shakopee in fourth, about a full lap and a half behind the pool, as we see Eagan finish up there in lane 3 with a time of 4:09.47. Second's going to go to lane 5, 4:17.91. As Eagan in lane 1 is going to finish third. Shakopee lane 4 for the junior varsity still needs to go down and back one last time. For Shakopee lane 4, Toby Polk, 7th grader. We were talking with one of the coaches here at the start of the match. Quite a few young swimmers for the Shakopee team, only 29 swimmers total. But we've seen a handful of 7th graders, 8th graders, 9th graders on their team. A young team, but something that they can build on for the next 4 or 5 years.
All right, we have the last event, event number 24 for tonight's program. The boys 400-yard freestyle relay, varsity.
We're going to be using all 6 lanes here for the 400-yard freestyle relay varsity. Combination of Wildcats and the Sabers.
All right, leading us off in lane 1 for Eagan, Brad Simpson. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Sam Lindeen. Lane 3 for Eagan, Louis Decatoire. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Charlie Cutts. Lane 5 for Eagan, Josiah Schaffhausen. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Seth Appert.
4 swimmers here in this round per lane, down and back twice. They need to go. Shakopee firing off early first here in lane 4 with about an arm's length over Eagan there in lane 3. 2 strong turns he does for lane 4. That's Charlie Cutts, as he's going to pull away to almost a full length.
All right, up next, lane 1
Eagan.
will be Gavin Yang for Eagan. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Jack Fritz. Lane 3 for Eagan, Tyler Burby. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Luke Gens. Lane 5 for Eagan, William Wynn. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Nick Fitzgerald.
With transitionings of swimmers, Eagan making up a lot of ground there in turn 3, or from lane 3. But the swimmer there in lane 4 with 2 quick turns, going to pull away now by a length and a half over second place there in lane 3. And he's going to be falling in jeopardy to possibly falling back to third place, as now lane 5 catching up, as Shakopee has a demanding lead now over
Right,
a half of a pool length.
Lane 1 for Eagan, Riley McRoberts. Lane 2 for Shakopee, Ethan Whitus. Lane 3 for Eagan, Liam Weffring. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Tyler Gwynn. Lane 5, Eagan, Aiden Smith. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Carter Havchik.
Lane 4 with the demanding lead now here over half of a pool length over Eagan. Those transitions for Shakopee, the turns I should say, has been monumental in leading this competition, as he now laps the swimmer in lane 6. Shakopee lane 3 continues to fall back.
And swimming anchor in lane 1 for Eagan, Vidant Sharista. In lane 2 for Shakopee, Ethan Gens. Lane 3 for Eagan, Miguel San Jose. Lane 4 for Shakopee, Cale Fleming. Lane 5 for Eagan, Mason Dietering. And lane 6 for Shakopee, Eli Cox.
Shakopee back down and back one last time here to finish the show this evening. A big lead right now, but lane 3 trying to catch up, and he is faster currently than that in lane 4. We'll see if he can catch up though. You can see the pace is so much faster, the crowd on their feet. Shakopee though, with that big lead they got early in this matchup, going to get the victory here, followed by Eagan there in lane 4. Second race we have seen this evening that Shakopee finishes in first. So a 3:32.97 there for Eagan, or for Shakopee. I think some clock errors were seen over there. So it was lane 5 that got the victory. We're not sure exactly on the time, showing that he finished third, but he was the victor there. I'm sorry, in lane 4. He was the victor there in lane 4.
All right, that was some good swimming.
Lane 3's time continues to click
I'd
off.
love to thank everybody for coming out today, watching on ETV. Again, we appreciate ETV for posting this on YouTube.
And we'll see if
Have
we'll get
everybody
a...
safe travels home. Thanks for coming and watching, supporting your team.
I do not think we'll see a final score here before we head out, but we know Eagan with a pretty demanding lead here. We kind of were expecting that. Quite a few more swimmers, more advanced swimmers than Shakopee. and the complete dive portion all going to Eagan for their 4 divers. We got to give another shout out to Owen Kipp, getting the 326.45 points in his diving, capturing a pool record. And this is just the first meet for this season, for the boys' swim season, so I'm sure we'll see a lot more out of Owen Kipp, and we'll see if he can knock off himself again to get some more, to break another pool record later in the season. Well, let's give a big thank you to all of the volunteers who ended up helping us tonight. We had the timekeepers, we have everyone here from ETVs, some parent volunteers. It takes a lot of people to be able to put on something like this. As the cheers back and forth for everyone on this production, our director Joe Conlon and our camera people, we thank you very much for watching ETV. Coming up for our next matches, next week Friday, January 15th, we're going to be at Farmington for boys swimming, and then we'll be at Lakeville North then on Tuesday, December 19th. So always stay tuned to ETV for all of your winter sporting activities. From the Dakota Hills Middle School, my name's Tim Shinny, and thank you very much for joining us today here as Eagan gets the victory here over the Shakopee Sabers. Have a good night.